Cool. Thanks for making it this far. I'm going to try and keep up with some of these pictures. They fly by pretty quick. But you can see how I've hit every area, the trunk, underneath. I did a lot of touch-up and work just so it's cherry, A lot of money. Yeah, I ended up spraying the insides of the tail lights. Yeah, the wheel wells were bad. I had to strip them. It was a lot of work to do the rears and the front wheel wells, but well worth it. Skim and everything, hardcore. Found that. Figured I'd get an extra hood or two just in case I ever get a supercharger to cut it. Yeah, getting there. A lot of metal work. I bought full patches for some of the fenders, but I really didn't need to do that. I just ended up changing some steel. Trying to touch up some of the front end parts as well, the plastic. That's hard to paint, man, I'll tell you that. It wants to react. Got to use some of my dad's tools, which was cool. There's that plastic paint. There's wheels, got them all cleaned up, ready to rock and roll. Lug nuts, horns. Whoa! Yeah, never know. I don't know why, but I was a little meticulous when I was stripping the car down. Carb day. But really, I don't know, I should have just got in there and got it done. But you're always worried you're going to screw something up. Watched a lot of videos on YouTube teaching all this stuff, DIY, auto school. A lot of good ones out there. Learned all this stuff on YouTube. I remember thinking I would like to apprentice to a car painter just for free to learn this stuff. People don't realize that knowledge is key. Did the dash, a lot of the front I repainted. Been using the rust mort to kill everything. Got the back panel area. I still got the old 55-gallon drum. It worked pretty good. Sandblasting a lot of these little parts. Took care of all the little bits. I figured I'd change out the heater core. Ooh, nice. Ooh, shiny. Yeah, all on the floor. Wax on, wax off. Repeat. Yep. Everything I took off, I pretty much cleaned every bolt, labeled it, every nut, every screw. Repainted the front headlight buckets. Working it back down. Ooh, nice. Carpet kit. There's the frame looking good. No rot whatsoever on this car. Just little tiny spots. Before, after. Man, that hood was heavy. I'll tell you what, it's the last time I do one by myself. I could have really screwed something up. Just think if I would have had that thing painted and tried to put it on the car, I would have screwed it all up. Try to get help if you can. It's hard to ask, I get it. A little bit on the cowl area. Fenders. Ooh, everything's back together now. Starting on the roof. Yeah, a lot of little tiny projects, thousands of them. I've got a lot of stuff in my shed, boxed up, wrapped up, ready to go back on, restored. Everything that came off got dealt with. My friend Pete gave me that pointer, paint the inside silver. With the new lenses, it'll be nice. CAD plated all the bolts, inner fenders. Yeah, looking good. Headlight adjusters. Dash. Ooh, turned out pretty sweet. Yep, a lot of sanding, buddy. Arms. There you go. That's a little more like it. The Rage went up in price, buddy. Whew. Built a lot of sawhorses, to hold the parts. Ooh, 4-letter word. Some more of the front end. Yeah, a little bit of the lower cowl there was damaged. I repaired that. Detailed the light rings. Did a lot of parts on the engine. Even the headlights, Every little thing's gonna count. Redid the back panel because that rear window leaked, and it leaked down into the car, and I cleaned up all the rust in there and sealed everything back up. A little bit of pitting around the window tracks. Nothing too major. I didn't fill them with anything. I read a couple things saying not to. And that way the window guy can just glue it in, and everything else will be pretty well dealt with. Stripped. Man, a lot of work. Look at that. It's all coming together. It's a good victory when you get something primered, and I'm still pretty nervous about the painting. Going back and forth about color too. Old. Yeah, the Coswell CAD plating, you got to really clean the fasteners up, and then you soak it in that solution. Works pretty good. Everything will look decent once it gets all put back together. Lots of details. That's the trunk paint I used. A little bit of rust up in there. Ooh, look at there. Bada boom. Everything I've touched, I've been dealing with. A lot of sanding. The cores were the whole car looked like it was beat with a bag of nickels. A lot of work to straighten everything out. Try to get the gaps the best I can without going berserker. Try to keep my lines going. In, out, over, up, down, get up, stretch. Don't sweat on it. There you go, some of the old and new tacked in patches. That's what I use for the interior plastic. Soon. A little bit of grimace. Cleaned up the frame rails. Rocker's real good underneath. Pinch weld underneath, they're all good. Wheel wells. There's my rage on the floor. Welding. Ooh, makers. Yep, more of the same. Every day try to get out there and do something. Last summer I punched through the summer, every day after work. And this year, I don't know, taking it a little bit easier. I miss the car, miss driving it. I knew this would happen when I decided to do this project. I guess I didn't think it'd take quite this long, but everything takes longer than you expect. There's the rust. All gone. A little bit on that lower. A little bit in the front corners. But everything's straightened out pretty nice. Nothing too crazy. It's the old 55-gallon drum. Helps sand to blast a lot of parts. Bead blast. Worked on the A-arms and the frame rails, A little bit interior stuff. It's good getting rid of the rust. It's funner to paint stuff. It takes weeks and weeks. Strip it down, and it takes hardly anything to paint. And it's a good feeling to see it painted and it looks tits. I found those. I'm going to clean those up for something. Turned out decent. Plastic, like I said, is a real pain in the ass. The hood is coming together. Redid the pegboard in the back. It'll be all sealed now. Look good. I got the speakers in it already. Might as well while the window's out.